So we've had a couple of, only one actually, a complaint that we're all talking over each other this morning. Mantingham felt the need to pass this on because there may be a grain of truth in it because we're all very excited about the Book of Records. But you know what happens when we all talk over each other? We all get a chance again to do the most, the mantra. Yes, the mantra to do. I've got pieces of paper here for you. Mark, there's yours.
Thank you.
Amy, there's yours. There's yours. And David, if I can hold yours up to the satellite before you join us, David, quote. Could you make sure you can read what you've got there. Mark, what does yours say?
Mine says, China Clipper calling Alameda.
What does yours say, David?
Never mind the furthermore, the plea is self-defence.
We're going to waive the Candyman thing there because we're going to start that in a moment. Of course, I could have got you there, but that's how generous something. What does yours say, mate?
It is in our opinion that the people are intending.
Okay, now this is a recreation of a track the Monkees did on their album Headquarters in 1968, and every time we're accused of talking over each other, we say, no, we're not. This is talking over each other. Okay, here we go. I'll start, and I'll bring you all in. Okay, so... Mr. Doubleina, Mr. Bob Doubleina, Mr. Doubleina, Mr. Bob Doubleina,
China Clipper calling Alameda.
Doubleina,
China Clipper calling Alameda.
Bob Doubleina,
China Clipper calling Alameda. People are intending.
China Clipper calling Alameda.
It is in our opinion that the people are
China Clipper calling Alameda.
It is in our opinion that
China Clipper calling Alameda.
It is in our opinion that the people are intending.
China Clipper calling
It is in our
Alameda.
opinion.
Thank you very much indeed. Well done. That's what it sounds like when people talk over each other. Thank you very much indeed. And now we'll cross to the Sarawak coast, where we know he's already here. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Candyman.
There you go, there's a pound. How good I was. I could have caught you there, couldn't I? I could have caught you. It would have been rotten, it would have been low, but we had to show people what it's like to make sure their radios are working perfectly in stereo this morning with our talking over each other bit. David, what have you got for us in terms of the first story? In terms of that?
Oh, in terms of the story. Did you know that by the year 2065, the average age of a first-time father will be 40 years old rather than 31, 30 that it is today?
Yeah. You see, John Gaunt often thunders against this.
Does he?
Whenever any celebrity over the age of like 19 says they're having a baby, he says, "What's he doing that for? Eh?" You know when he does that? You know when he does that gap and says, "Eh?" afterwards, he often does that. I mean, what's he having a baby for? Eh? Is it me? I've wrestled with this one. He hasn't wrestled at all with it. He's just been handed a piece of paper. He often says that, and thus I think giving one in the eye for all one-parent families everywhere, because he makes it suggestive either. But that of course, therein lies his show. What has this got to do with finance?
This has got to do with finance because first-time fathers are
Sorry, that was a late one there.
Yeah, I know. Because first-time fathers are becoming increasingly worried that they are not financially stable before they have their families. And so what they're doing is they're just waiting longer and longer. And I think over the last decade, the average age of a father has increased 3 years already, yeah?
And if you're going to wait until you've got the money in the bank before you have babies, that is not the essence of true romance, is it?
Do you know, I couldn't agree with you more.
There it is.
Yeah.
Does
that surprise you?
Yes, it does. Well, no, I know when it comes to hearth and home, some of your theories fall down, apart from as did the newspaper on the windows after a while. But
because I mean, the truth is, the earlier you start your family, the earlier the kids can go out to work.
Oh, I didn't quite think that. I was just wondering if Mrs. Quo just said, David, one night. Oh, I'm watching this. I'm watching the Money Program. David, stop rubbing your foot on my leg. David, could we just for tonight? Oh, give me the bank statement. No, another month and a half yet before we can go upstairs. Is that, you don't agree with that? You think you should just go with your heart? Is that what it is?
I think when it comes to starting a family, I think so, yeah. Because I think people just worry too much, and I think...
Have you pulled stumps in that direction? Is there any more? Are you planning sending any? This is a rather public place to say this.
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, are people listening?
Well, of course, you know they're listening. You know,
no one's listening.
It's just us. It's just us. Are you planning on any more?
No, I'm not, no. I've had enough now.
I mean, you've had enough, but you never know, because as your children grow up, you just think, well, I miss having a baby around the house. You're still a relatively young man. How old are you?
I'm 40-ish.
What's the matter with you? What are you getting all coy for? It's all of ladies and gentlemen, big hand for Sandra D over here. How old are you? How old are you? I'm 47.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about your age.
What's the matter with you? What has this got to do with your green card or something? David, what year and day were you born? When is your birthday and what year? Don't say the rat, because that's... what year is it?
I was born in the year of the monkey, I'm sorry.
What year is that? 1950... Is
it 50-ish, yeah.
56?
Yeah, yes.
Is it 56?
It is, yeah.
You're older than me.
Well, I'm about your age. It's not
That's all right. What's the matter? I'm not going to... We're fellas. Look at us. We don't... Mark's younger than both of us.
Yeah, I'm 42. 41.
He's 41. I'm 46. 47. You're all right, so you're 48.
I'm 40-ish. yes.
My dad was 49 when my brother was born.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah.
Have a baby for the show, David. Go on.
Yeah,
We
go
can have it
on.
live on the air then. That'd be great. You can come in here looking like Quincy with the green stuff on and say, I'm a dad. I'm a dad again. I'd like to see him in the greens. Continue with the story anyway. What are we talking about?
So anyway, that's fine. So anyway, as far as these dads are concerned, all I can say to them is just get a hold of yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
Simply because...
Oh,
Otherwise you'll be
That's
having...
a terrible phrase to use. David. For the love of God. Yeah, go on.
just don't worry about the financial aspect. It'll just come right.
Where does this report come from? Or have you pulled it out there?
This has come from Virgin Money. You think
okay.
I just make these things up?
Yeah, quite a lot of the time.
well,
I suspect the Virgin Money may make them up.
But
Well, I
the
think
average age of a new father is 40, isn't it?
No, the average age at the moment is 31, but it's been increasing over the last decade simply because, fathers want to be financially secure before they actually have children.
Yeah, well.
Which I think is quite magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
Quite
So they
Magnus Magnuson.
They wouldn't-
Absolutely.
They wouldn't, in the Middle Ages, of course, the average age of a father was like 9 or something, was 9 or 10. They had to, because they all died about 19, didn't they? I was watching Terry Jones yesterday. And he was explaining this very point, but he said the myths about the Middle Ages, that they all thought that, little imps and stuff lived in your belly, and that's why you got the gout and stuff, is all nonsense. And they knew the world was round, and there was no Dark Ages, but he has an axe to grind in that department. But then we are digressing there, so we'll just give us the second story.
Okay, online shopping. Thank goodness for that.
So I was going to ask you about middle-aged medicine, didn't you? Middle Ages medicine, that's it, yeah, go on.
Anyway, online shopping. Now, that's taken a great leap forward at the moment.
Okay.
About 5 years ago, only 3 out of 8 people have ever made a purchase online, whereas today, about 9 out of 10 people have done so. These are the people that have access to the internet.
Just swallowed them. Of course they've got access to the internet. You can't shout. You can't shout at someone else's computer or out your window.
Well, no, I'm trying not to distort the figures, because if you go...
I demand from Amazon.com a series of Harry Potter books. They don't send them. You have to get online. You have to have access to a computer. Otherwise, Amazon don't listen to you.
Well, I'm talking about people who generally have... access to the internet in their homes, and
Well, how else would you make an online purchase?
okay, yeah.
No, I'm not being pedantic here. What an extraordinary phrase.
No, because if you just go and ask the people out on the streets whether or not they made an online purchase, you have to first of all discern that they have access to the internet, yeah? Because otherwise the figures will be completely distorted.
And we wouldn't want to do that.
Am I making myself clear here?
No, you're not. But that doesn't matter. Go on.
Anyway, online purchases are becoming increasingly more popular.
Yeah.
And part of the reason, I think, is because, people don't feel so embarrassed about buying things that they wouldn't normally buy.
Oh, you're talking about sex products?
No, I'm not talking about sex products. No, I'm just talking about unusual things. Because this is another survey that came out from Egg.
Yeah, go on.
So sorry.
No, we're exchanging a glance here. What was he talking about? Things they'd be embarrassed to buy otherwise. I can't think of anything else.
Well, yeah, I mean, for instance, it turned out that, some people went out and bought a vampire killing kit, yeah?
Oh, good there now.
Well,
okay,
there you see.
very good.
I mean, that is not something that you would go into W.H. Smith and ask for. Because it would
Tough
be
things to buy in the high street, though, aren't they?
I nearly sent you a link last night. There's on eBay the greatest quack of the history. It's all of this self-healing, and this person on there says, I am a master's student from the University of, and it's one of these online universities, all about healing and third eye. And what you do, it's on eBay, you get in touch with them, and via email they will give you a reading. I looked at the feedback. About 470 people have done it. Yeah, you email this person with a few details, and she emails you back, because it was a woman, emails you back with all this stuff, and and says, put this in a drawer, put my reading in a drawer, because it may not be for this period in your life, but sooner or later you'll what a racket! I'll send you the link.
Generic statements may have something.
It's a fantastic thing. So this is the kind of thing you're talking about.
Well, it sounds like a good business. I mean,
yes, it does. It sounds like a great business. I wish I was a shilling behind her. Well done. I'm saying that. Well done. What a lovely racket.
Well, what about sort of having your palms read, online? You could just sort of send them a picture of your palm, and they could read it for you, yeah?
Would you go to a photocopier and for once, put your hand down on it and they read that? Is that how it works?
Well, that would be one way of doing it. Just sending a JPEG picture of your palm, and they could read it. They don't need to sort of look at your hand.
Have you ever had your palm read?
I have had my palm
What did
read.
they tell you?
And they said I was going to have lots of children. Yeah.
Well, they got that one wrong.
Amy,
didn't
about
they?
Amy, she's got an elephant. What is it?
No, it's a butterfly.
A butterfly. I do apologise. I had the elephant.
I had my palm read, and she said, "I've got a butterfly in
Here's
my
something,
palm."
and then don't do this if you're driving. We were talking about this the other morning. If you get your hand and slightly scrunch it up, all the lines kind of, go to fat and you can actually make a picture out there. And if you can make a picture out there, and I can see somebody walking on stilts, then that is your life force, something like that. That's the new palm reading that I was doing the other morning. Carry on, David. What's another?
Okay, so this is about online retailing. Now this is another
right up. Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I talked about this sea salvage company. This Rag and Bone Men of the Sea.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yes, I remember them, yeah.
They were called Subsea Resources. Now another one has just come to the surface, and this is another steptoe and son of the ocean.
Yeah, steptoe as we described them. Yeah.
And it's called Ocean Resources, and they're fishing around the Mediterranean looking for sunken treasure.
And
Well, they think they found a boat that will have about $2.5 million worth of metals on there, and things like tin, antimony, silver, and gold. Yeah, and they're
$2 million. Yeah.
$2.5 million worth.
Yeah.
It's going to cost them $500,000 to go down and get this
such
boat.
a romantic thing to do. I'd love to do this more than anything.
Salvage work.
No, not salvage work. No, because that's not romantic.
Is this ocean finance? You said.
No, it's Ocean Resources.
Thank God it's not ocean finance. It is ocean finance after a fashion, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
How much do they spend on their ads? That's incredible, the ocean finance. Because I'll tell you the one that's hanging around longer is what's the one with the little blue telephone pops up on the sofa? Lombard Direct. That ad must have been made in about 1978, I think. Yeah. And the poor woman who has to, and they've obviously said, now, don't worry about it, but when we've done the special effects, there will be a telephone there. So you've got to react. And she does the most over-the-top, hammy, nodding, and I'm very interested in what this large blue telephone has to tell me. Look, large blue telephone, I doubted your existence, but now you're here. That's sound financial advice. She's nodding like crazy. Very good.
She's been around for so long because the voice that actually tells you the percentage rate is very slightly different from the rest of the voice.
Yeah,
with interest rates starting at 4.9%.
Anyway, David, there's 3 solid stories this morning.
You're very kind.
Should we play out with our little thing again? I'll start again. Get your pieces of paper. So here we go.
I've lost mine.
It doesn't matter. Just make something
just here,
up.
David.
Mr. Doubleina, Mr. Barb Doubleina, Mr. Doubleina, Mr. Barb Doubleina,
China
Mr. Doubleina,
calling
Mr. Barb
Alameda.
Doubleina, Mr.
China calling
Doubleina, Mr. Barb
Alameda.
Doubleina,
China
Mr.
calling Alameda.
Doubleina, Mr.
China
Doubleina,
calling
Mr.
It is in our opinion that the people are in.
On 94.9 FM, this is BBC London.